Hey, Tara Strong here, and you're listening to the GeekCast Radio Network.
My little pony, my little pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure, tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness, it's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Do you know you're all my very best friends? No, 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 no. Mike! It's over here!
Hello and welcome to The Pullback. This is episode 132 and this is Fiendship is Friendship February. I'm of course Steve G and Mike. Joining me is the Pinkie Pie of Podcasting, Beatlesdiva. Hello.
Aloha.
Oh boy.
What?
I'll say this. The pony comics are a lot better than I gave them credit for.
I've been telling you this for how long? I've been telling everyone this for how long, okay?
Well, I mean, so I've seen, because of last week's villain episode, I had to watch a few of the other episodes from a few of the other seasons. As I've already said in this thing, that I've seen the whole of season 1 of Friendship is Magic.
Come on, Twilight, just try. Hello? Well, that was interesting, all right.
So I've seen the whole of season 1. I don't want to go beyond that because how I'm going to do these is I'm going to do them as Tooncast Beyond seasonal episodes where we review each season. So that's why I haven't really gone forward and read and done or watched any more until the point of us having to do the villains. And I asked you, they must be in the show, so where are they? So I could get some of their clips and quotes and everything else. So, yeah, I haven't really seen a hell of a lot of the show outside of season 1, and I've enjoyed season 1. There's a lot of really awesome stuff in it. It's just, I don't know, it's anthropomorphic ponies. It's just kind of...
It's awesome. Just go with the awesomeness. You'll be fine.
Just go with the awesomeness.
Just go with the awesomeness.
That's right. All right, so today we are here to talk about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Volume 1. Welcome to Ponyville, home of Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, and all your other favorite ponies. Something's not right in the town, though, as some of the inhabitants are acting very, very strange. It's up to the ponies to find the source of the weirdness before it's too late. Brought to you by writer Katie Cook and artist Andy Price. That's the back of the trade, and that's pretty much all we're going to be talking about when it comes to the actual trade, because we do this a little different, folks. Since we're actually covering both Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the Friendship is Magic comic, I have like a bajillion bullet point notes. We cannot sit here and go through 2 trades because we'll be here for 4 hours.
We've already done that, okay?
Yeah.
But I think that's a good thing because this is a comic that you have to read.
Absolutely.
There's like I was telling you, there's so many Easter eggs everywhere in these 2 trades.
Yeah, there is. We are going to spoil some of the story. We are going to tell you what happens, that kind of thing, but we're not going to spoil every little thing. For Volume 1, basically this volume, the starting story here is dealing with Queen Chrysalis and the Changeling. So that's the big bad of this story. Do you remember when you first were reading this title, or when you first did you pick choose, or
the week that it came out? I had I've loved ponies since I can remember, and so I remember I put it. I went down to my comic book shop. I'm like, I want to buy Little Pony comics, and I want all the covers, And he's like, Are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He's like, is it really that good? I'm like, I love the cartoon. Why wouldn't I love the comics? So, yep. I remember it. And I remember reading the very first one when it came out. I'm like, I want the second one right now.
Yeah, absolutely. My first note for this, and I did kind of break this up into the 4 chapters because the first volume collects the first 4 issues, but IDW, well, actually, I didn't break up the first 2 chapters, but I did chapter 3 and 4. But anyway, IDW is a little weird when they do trades, and they do this with Turtles too sometimes. They do chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4 instead of issue 1, 2, 3. The only reason why it's weird with Turtles is because sometimes you have chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you have 9, 10, 11. Once you get past a certain point, it's like, hey, that's not what the issue number, I don't know, whatever. So my first note for the first part of volume 1, birds, piglets, and bunnies. I know they'd have gotten in trouble for having the sign say what I hoped it would have said, which was Tiggers, Piglets, and Pooh Bears, oh my.
Oh, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, they're out trying to get their cutie marks, and they're on a little adventure. They're so cute.
Do they ever, I think I asked you this already. Do they ever get their cutie marks in the show?
This last season, they finally got them.
Okay, good.
Spoiler. Sorry. It was good to have it eventually.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I know they're going to eventually get them. Obviously, I don't want you to tell me how, because that would be a real spoiler. But it's just one of those things where everything I've read in the comics so far and everything I've seen in the first season of the show and stuff is like, hey, we need to get our cutie marks. And it's amazing what the Cutie Mark Crusaders, all 3 of them, come up with for trying to figure it out. So that makes it more interesting for me later on when I eventually do get to see what they finally end up being. Do they actually grow up in the show, or do they not?
They're still fillies.
Okay. Fluttershy's backyard ain't no jungle. Sure it is. It's a jungle in there.
Oh, there's so many fun things.
There's qualifications. Hardy har har har.
But even the koala looks like you right now.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? When I went to Australia, I found out that koalas have 2 thumbs on each hand. Did you know this? It's kind of creepy. Yeah, I thought I'd let you know. Every time I think of koalas, I'm like, that's what I go back to. I'm like, they have 2 thumbs on each hand. It's kind of creepy. Yeah.
And of course, me living in Kentucky for God knows 20 some odd years now, as soon as I saw the other sign, Run for the Roses, I'm like, ha, that's a Derby reference if I ever saw one. I do love the art style so far. Andy Price's art in this is amazing.
Awesome! Oh my gosh.
It is really amazing.
He does the Queen so well. Oh my God.
In every aspect of her expressions, he does her so well. When she's happy and evil, when she's just depressed, when she's annoyed. I love how he's capturing the very essence of each of the 6 main ponies too. Like everything that they do, whether it's Rarity and her just, her kind of stillness, whether it's Applejack and her, highfalutin tarnation stuff, Pinkie Pie. I don't think any artist in the history of comics could ever screw up Pinkie Pie's characterization when it comes to drawing her, because she's just an explosion of art.
Yeah. Oh, Pinkie's awesome. Pinkie's so much fun.
Yep. Kick. Better Kick. Oh, Rainbow Dash.
Wait, I want to go back.
Go ahead.
We got to talk about the splash page. This is the splash page on page 3.
Mm-hmm.
That I tell everyone about. I'm like, there's such goodness in this little page. Well, first of all, Katie Cook and Andy Price have drawn themselves as ponies. They are on this page. But we also have the number 1 pony of all time, Firefly. Yay.
Oh, Firefly. Okay, I guess that's a G1 thing.
Yeah, Firefly's the best pony ever. Ever.
Okay.
My avatar in Skype is the human version of her.
Oh, that's what that is. Yeah. Okay.
But I like that you got the Blues Brother into here. You got Magnum P.I. You got Earl Hickey from My Name is Earl. I love it.
The only thing that's missing is a pony with a leather jacket and a car.
Oh.
Or a tough car.
I mean, Magnum PI is more of like a cop, I guess. I love his cutie mark. I mean, again, this is one of those pages where there's so many hidden gems, but you find it throughout the whole comic too. I mean, we'll get into that as well, I'm sure. But I just love how they created themselves.
Yeah, everything about it. Between Katie's writing and Andy's art, it's just, I wasn't expecting to be this awesome. I just really wasn't, because that's one of the reasons why we're even doing this with the pony, not just because it's the first ever pony coverage on the GeekCast Radio Network. It's really, to help me find new creators, and whether it's writers or artists or whatever else, and having no experience with either one of these people, seeing any of their work before this, outside of what we've already done, this whole spotlight. It's nice seeing how well that, and I don't know how much, because we all know Hasbro and Transformers. Don't get me wrong, Hasbro and Transformers and IDW, they've let IDW do pretty much whatever they want. But there are times when Hasbro's like, hey, we have a new Rat Trap toy. Can you throw him into a comic? Or we have, this and this and this, or, and then Hasbro has gone, back and forth and gone to where, oh, hey, we're going to make a toy out of Whirl, or we're going to make a toy out of stuff in the comic, which is great. I don't know how much they do with, because I don't know how many I don't know. Is there even a pony line for toys? I don't even.
My Little Pony? Yeah, there's tons and tons of toys. Tons of toys.
This is why you're here, because I don't keep up with these,
Oh,
these newfangled things.
They got fancy winged ones. They've got ones that you could draw on. There's the blind bag ones. There's big stuffed animals. If you want something with a pony on it, you can find it. I mean, I've got a baseball cap. I've got shirts. I've got my work bag.
I know bag. There's like clothes and hats and shirts and accessories, but I didn't know. Okay, you go into a store and you go down the boys aisle. You see Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, whatever. You go down to the girls aisle. It's mainly Barbie.
No, there's ponies. There's Littlest Pet Shop. That's very popular too. That's another Hasbro line.
Yeah. So my whole point in all this is it doesn't seem like Hasbro really impresses upon IDW to throw in anything because they're marketing something, at least for the first trade.
Well, as far as I don't know if they've done that, but there's so much pony stuff out there. They've probably incorporated it somehow into the comics. I just don't know, because like I said, there's so many pony things, so much. I want it all, but
you'll never have it all.
There's so much, but the most popular, I really like the blind bag ponies. They're the best.
What is so cool about Katie's writing style here is how she pretty much captures all of the characters' Achilles' heels, especially with Rarity. Leg warmers and stirrup pants. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Flashdance? Is this 1984 all over again?
Flashdance is awesome.
It is, yeah. And what they work in here, and I wasn't really expecting a lot of different types of social commentary, but the whole line of, I don't know if I want a picture of you on my flank for the rest of my life. Nice anti-tattoo commentary. Oh, God. The first two issues are just really, really cool. I absolutely loved them. I thought they were great.
Oh, like I said, there's so much fun in them.
Yep, absolutely. And then they start using Thwip at the end close to the end of the second issue, and I'm like, oh, where's Spider-Man when you really need him? Nope. When we get into chapter 3, I do love. I think out of this first volume, issue 3, chapter 3, whatever you want to call it, is probably my favorite issue. because of how it's set up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's My Little Pony featuring Rocky and Bullwinkle. Because Spike is the classic Rocky and Bullwinkle narrator.
No, that's okay.
I just love it.
Okay. I think it
Go ahead.
is volume 3. Okay, this might be a little bit of a spoiler alert, but I want to get your opinion. Because we're just talking here and there, right? We're not actually going to go through everything, right?
No, we're not going. No, that's why I said I've got my bullet point notes as I read through. We're not going through every single thing. Oh no, are you kidding me? Be here forever.
In your opinion, Queen Chrysalis, did she kill that kitten? That is the most disturbing thing. I'm not kidding. Now, spoiler in case you haven't. She throws a kitten against the wall and it splats. And I'm just like, do you think she's killed this kitten? Or was that something? I've got to a debate with other people. I'm like, I think she killed this kitten. And everyone's like, no, it's something else. I'm like, no, I think she threw the cat against the wall and killed it.
Hold on, let me get there because okay, so is this in the flashback?
No, this is. Let's see which page we got here.
Is it in Spike's narration?
She's talking to the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and they're talking about, oh, look at the cute little thing, and because she feeds on the love of other things, and so she brought some of them back.
Okay.
And then the Cutie Mark to terrify the Cutie Mark Crusaders, she throws it against the wall.
Yeah, I would say she did kill it.
It's just very disturbing. I would I wouldn't have expected that of a My Little Pony comic. It's not graphic, but it's there. You're just like, oh, dang. That just proves to you how evil this woman is. Yeah.
I mean, she is. She is very, very evil.
I thought, oh, maybe she has some hope. But after that, I'm like, you killed the kitten. No, I was just like, okay. That's like one of the most. I read a lot of comics. For some reason, that's like one of the most disturbing things that has stayed with me.
Well, I think we said this off here. I don't think we said this in last week's episode, but you are one of those people who is an animal lover, no matter who it is. You basically have two pony personalities inside you, Nicole. You are Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy in one.
I like to think I have a little bit of Rainbow Dash because I'm very competitive. But it was very disturbing to me. It's one of those things.
It is very disturbing. I mean, she probably. Well, I mean, she feeds on love anyway. So whether she threw it against a wall or kicked it against a wall, damn thing's dead anyway because she ate its soul. I mean, they just show that in physical form here. That's that's way creepy. But looking at this again, just oh my god, the giant castle panel where it says the present.
The castle. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The giant. Well, her fortress, where the outside of the fortress. Is it just me, or is she essentially the Wicked Witch of the West in this?
She's a bunch of different characters, that's for sure.
I mean, she's a lot of different characters.
Okay, so now you understand.
Yes.
The thing that Pinkie Pie has for why she has the horrible costume for the one that we talked about. Remember, you're like, where'd she get that horrible costume at?
Oh yeah.
Now you understand where it came from.
Oh, because it's used to guard eventually once they beat her. Yeah. But that again, yeah.
And the kitten part was on page 61.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not very cool at all. So as we're going through this, we get to the point where the changelings go out and start turning into each, because there's 6 ponies. They can either go 3 and 3 or 2 by 2. Oh God, I just made a Noah's Ark reference. Holy shit! So they all go 2 by 2, and the changelings see this, and the changelings essentially change into each one of them, and basically they basically put self-doubt and kind of almost like hatred into each of the 6 real friends.
And I liked how they did this. I like how, first of all, I like the team up that they did. Mm-hmm. I think that was really fun. And then
you got Pinkie and Rainbow, Fluttershy and Rarity. No,
Fluttershy and Twilight.
Fluttershy and Twilight, and Rarity and Spike. Oh.
No, Rarity and Applejack.
And Applejack. Damn it! I knew I was missing one of them. You think about the Rarity and the Applejack thing. That's essentially City Mouse meets Country Mouse.
Yeah, exactly. even the Queen, she gets a kick out of it. She's like, "Oh, this team up is so unusual."
So I do love the team up with Pinkie and Rainbow. No more songs. You've sung 3 already today.
Oh, Pinkie.
And Pinkie has this idea. This ought to be... I'll have to screen cap this for you in the guided view. This ought to be your next picture on social media. The idea thing. Oh, my God. Yeah, the idea. Holy crap. So here's the plan. Next time we face the changelings, we all wear costumes of ourselves. See, if they all took my form again, you'd be able to tell it wasn't me. It was me because I'm wearing this. Can you tell I'm not a changeling right now? Huh? Can you? You even get that?
I love it.
I've had them with me the whole time. Look, here's one for you too. We can not be changelings together.
Pinkie Pie is amazing.
Poor Rainbow.
She's got the bag of holding somewhere on her body.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. It's like, okay, you see the panel where she says those changelings really are going to get harder to beat as we go along. Mm-hmm. Do these costumes come out of her cutie mark or something? Do they come out of the balloons on her flank?
No one knows. It's just Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie is different from any other pony.
Well, obviously.
She can never be injured, I doubt it. And she's got a magic of her own.
Yeah. The only thing is because I almost wish it would be, and I don't know how this would work because they're ponies, they have hooves, they don't have hands. She's almost like Wacko Warner from Animaniacs because no, seriously, Wacko always had his gaggy bag. So, Wacko could pull out the kitchen sink out of that gaggy bag and we could all believe it because it's Wacko. So
that's what happens with Pinkie Pie. No matter what she does, you believe it's possible just because it's her,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So let's see here. We go to I said on Twitter when I was in the middle of reading this, I'm like, I can't believe, again, because it's the first time I've read this, I can't believe how well they put in the pop culture references.
Oh, God, yeah.
And don't and they don't really oversell it. Like the whole thing with after Chrysalis finished the story,
mm-hmm.
and so what happens now? Nothing. We're at now. Everything happens now. Is happening now. I'm like, oh my God, they put a Spaceballs reference into a Little Pony comic. What the hell? This is so awesome.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the pop culture in just the first volume here.
Yeah.
Of course, it's an IDW.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you when you were reading it, I'm like, Optimus Prime makes an appearance.
Yes.
And you're like, what? What are you talking about? How is he going to make an appearance? You're like, that's so stupid.
No, I didn't say it was stupid. I said it was wrong. I didn't say it was stupid. I said it was wrong.
After reading it, did you think it was wrong?
No, because it's My Little Pony, and when you first told me, I'm like, please do not tell me they have pony formers. Please do not tell me that, because I thought it was going to be optimate, like like you got derpy hooves and you got all these other pony things. I thought he was going to be in the form of a pony, and then obviously it gets revealed to, that he's just a little plushie on a shelf.
But he's not a little one.
No,
you gotta think how big. Troll.
Well, no. Well, compared to the troll, because I actually screen capped it and put it on Facebook. Let's see here. Ponies! Speaking of the pop in cartoon culture, you know who the troll is supposed to be, right? He's supposed to be the giant abominable snowman from Looney Tunes.
Really?
Oh, look, yeah. Oh, look. It's either that or Lenny from Mice and Men. Yeah. So next pony.
33.
Yeah. Well, I get the image up here on Facebook, and you look at how small they are. You look at how big he is, and but Optimus still.
Now let me ask you another thing. The other pop culture reference, the skull that's next to him. Another IDW trademark is turtles.
Yeah, that's
Would
Bebop.
that be Bebop?
For Bebop. That's not even cool. And the giant thing that looks like a rock on the right of Optimus that has a giant 8 on it, that's a magic 8 ball.
Yeah, I got that too. So basically this giant troll is me. I collect...
You collect everything, yes.
Ponies!
It's a little crazy.
They also have, again, they talking about the pop culture references, because that's what went off on this. Later on, they have a whole splash page of horror film references.
Do yes.
And I was just like, I mean, the art. I don't care how you make Pennywise up. He's still even in pony form. I love the pop culture references. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, it's just like you said, they did a Spaceballs reference. That's awesome.
Yeah. With Twilight and Fluttershy, they run into a chupacabra.
And see, that's another thing about it. They bring up all these supernatural creatures too within the cartoon and within the comic. I love it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And Fluttershy says he looks hungry. Oh no, I think they only eat goats. And then all of a sudden, the giant panel of the two of them just looking at each other, like, oh crap! Because they have the twigs, they have the twigs in their manes, so they look like goats. But just Andy's art, I think it's Heather Breckel on the coloring. I don't remember on the colors. I didn't look at the front page right away here.
I'll look it up.
But just that close up of the two of them looking at each other is like, you don't even need to put a word balloon on this panel at all. You just get the dread right away.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's the cover. Colors by Heather Breckel. Yep.
Yeah, I figured it was Heather. As we go along, we eventually come to, Rarity and Applejack, they're fighting flowers.
You got to go read it, people. It's interesting.
No, yeah, seriously, you do have to, and Rarity just can't. I told you to leave those flowers alone. Yes, of course, because we could have all predicted this. Pony eating petunias.
There's so many wonderful lines. The writing.
Yeah, it's just so cool. So the
Katie
flowers.
Is spot on with the writing.
Yeah, Katie. I mean, like I can hear the voice actresses in my head for each of these characters. Although I don't know who does. I don't remember off the top of my head who voices Rarity.
Oh, I'm not sure. My brain is broken. I know her name, but it hurts to think.
It hurts to think. When we're going to get to it later in Volume 2, I was not expecting what happens in Volume 2 at all. I figured, they're just going to revert a certain character from her saved state.
Okay.
You know, that's what I thought was going to, because I'm like, okay, so we face Queen Chrysalis in Volume 1.
And everything is happy at the end except for that dead kitten. That's one of those things that really disturbs me.
you are really, really starting to sound like Brody Bruce. That kid is back on the escalator again.
I'm not kidding. Ever since I read that issue, it's one of those things that I will go back to and be like, that was like one of the most disturbing things I've ever read in comics. And I read a lot of really dark stuff. I guess it's because I don't expect it in ponies, So, anyways, enough of the kids.
Tabitha St. Germain is Rarity. And I just, as much as I know Rarity's voice now, I just can't imagine what kind of voice Tabitha would do for her for what happens in the next volume that we'll talk about a little bit later. So we get to Pinkie. We go back to Pinkie and Rainbow. I thought they were going to make a Superman reference at first. Hey, Chupacabra, what's that noise? A bird? A whiny bird? I really thought she was going to say a plane. So they have all these bunnies around the two of them.
Because there's nothing more scary than a bunny.
That's right. And
Monty Python taught us that.
Yes. And Rainbow's like, we can't spend our day traipsing around with all these bunnies. Let's go. And you just see the way the Comixology guided view is, you just see Pinkie screaming and you don't know why.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, ow, bad bunny. The bunny bit her hind leg. I love the K-Chomp. It's hilarious. Oh, God.
Yeah, I love, no matter how bad things get, Pinkie Pie is still very bubbly. She's like, oh yeah, you just are trying to take off my leg and trying to kill me. I shall name you Bitey.
Bye, Bitey. No, what I'm wondering is, and this is just me trying to put some logic into this here, and I know it's ponies and I shouldn't put logic into comics, but when she says bye, Bitey, basically Rainbow Dash has got Pinkie's tail in her mouth, quite literally, and is flying away. Now, she just said a second ago, ow, bad bunny, when the bunny bit her leg. Do you mean to tell me that Rainbow, flying as fast as Rainbow flies, is not going to hurt Pinkie's tail?
Pony magic,
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah. What I love here is how they all end up meeting up together again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've got Rainbow and Pinkie flying in. You've got Applejack and Rarity flying in on the pony eating petunias. And so they all meet up, and then they eventually run into Twilight and Fluttershy. Quite literally, almost run into them. And I had to do a double take on the Crash panel. Because so they all run into each other, like I said, quite literally, and then there's it's basically a giant panel with Crash and bunnies, and there's part of Pinkie's there's part of everybody all around this Crash. And throughout the Crash, like you were saying, there's all kinds of little nods and stuff, and you've got Oof, Bang, Bam, which is basically a Batman 66 thing. Get off of me, Crunch. My hat. And I'm like, wait, what hat? I had to actually go back to the previous. I'm like, oh, that's right, Applejack's hat. And I'm like,
Applejack wears a hat.
I know she does, but they don't ever. We don't ever really You know what I mean? It's not ever really said. It's just, you just look at it and it's there. Because usually they're talking about other stuff. And just seeing the whole reaction of my hat. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah.
I love the Chupacabra.
Yeah, the Chupacabra was pretty awesome.
He's just like, what just happened? Ponies just happened.
And then as we get, they end up quite literally going off a cliff. So they left us on a cliffhanger. We get to the fact that they're all fine down at the bottom of this thing, and we have this little, almost like a Ferris Bueller moment. She's not looking at she kind of, her face is not directly at us, the reader, but her eyes are kind of looking directly at us. Oh no, the vampiric jackalope and the chupacabra are natural enemies. They'll fight for dominance over the rights to eat us. Fluttershy, what the hell? Like, I literally question everything about Fluttershy after reading these two trades at this point, because she's got some dark stuff in her.
You wait till you get later on to the seasons. I'm not going to give it away. Nope.
No, don't give it away. So everyone apologizes, and we get to a point where okay, so everyone apologizes. And luckily Pinkie always travels with I'm sorry cakes, and she has I'm sorry goodie bags.
Yep.
And Twilight says, "Oh, Pinkie, I don't think we have time for cake. We're only an hour away from the Changeling Kingdom." And she goes nose to nose with Twilight. "Eat the cake."
No.
It's Pinkie in the costume, people. So it's
terrifying.
Really, it's intimidating. It's terrifying, and I mean, you just look at Rarity. Rarity's like Rarity almost a Fluttershy there, and Applejack looks at Rainbow, who's got her hoof over her eyes. Are we just going to ignore that costume? Please don't ask about it.
Because I think it's because Rainbow doesn't want to see her costume.
See, that's what I'm not. That's what I quite didn't get. Like, I thought I missed a panel here, because Applejack asks about, are they going to ignore it, and then Rainbow says, "Don't ask." And
about 5 minutes later,
Twilight. Well, but see, that's the thing. It seems like I missed something, because Twilight is thanking Pinkie for getting their strength up, and then we have Rainbow here saying, "You asked. Why did you ask?" And didn't Pinkie say she had costumes for every pony?
Yep.
Where are the others?
They didn't ask about their costumes. They just asked about Rainbow's. See? I know how I think.
Just so wrong. As we go through, we get back to Chrysalis's fortress here, and I swear she's the Wicked Witch of the West. She's watching them through a little crystal ball. She even says, "I'll get you and your little pony friends." Well, at least she's not after Ruby Slippers.
I love the art of her. So awesome.
It's every different panel that she's in. Both Andy's line work and Heather's colors are just amazing. I mean, she's a black pony, or changeling, or whatever, with like an aqua type, like a dark aqua type of mane, with like a greenish type tail. It's just awesome. And of course, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, being who they are, they basically are driving her nuts. This is almost over. Almost over. Guard, bring me in an acid. Burp Abysmal.
I love it.
Burp Abysmal.
Yeah, I can use some of that right now.
Yeah. So this is where this issue ends, and that's it, boys and girls. I just love the book end of this because it's like, how are you going to fit Spike into the story at this point after the first two issues? Like, you just don't know. And then, oh hey, guess what? They're going to make him the narrator, and Angel's there too in some weird mustache thing. That's a little
because
weird.
he bought the mustache from Earl Hickey and Magnum PI.
Oh, that's right.
Because they had
That's
their mustache booth.
Mm-hmm. So to the next issue for our exciting conclusion, and they basically turn the lights off, and it goes back to their normal designs, and I'm like, wait, what? I almost wish it would have just ended right there with turning the lights off without it going. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but the panel where he says, tune in next time for exciting, I just wish that was the last panel and we then go to chapter 4.
Well, I think this one came out around Valentine's Day, if I remember right, because the first issue came out in December. Mm-hmm. So that would probably make sense that this would have come out around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's true. So we get to the fourth and final chapter here. Once again, the castle at the lake or the mountain or whatever you want to call it. Like, oh, hey, Tony Stark's new house. And of course, Rainbow, as soon as they get here, they're like, Rainbow has this charge in first kind of plan, and Twilight's all like, oh, we have to research, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to everything else. And Rainbow says at one point or another, it's probably most likely a trap. And then the rest of this issue is Rainbow basically saying, I told you it was going to be a trap.
During this whole issue, because we haven't really talked about it, but Applejack and Rarity, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, they're sisters, they're sisters in the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And so they have this really overwhelming big sister love for them. And I just think that is so cute because, Twilight, she wants to make plans and stuff. And these two are like, no, we got to go get our sisters. You figure whatever you want out. We're going to go. I mean, every minute is precious when it comes to our sisters. We don't want anything to happen to them. And I love that about Applejack and Rarity.
Yep. I just found this out after reading through this and looking up several of the characters. I've interviewed Sweetie Belle's voice actress's father before.
Oh, really?
Twice. Ian James Corlett, who most everyone will know as either Mega Man from the 94 Mega Man series or from Beast Wars as Cheetor. His daughter, Claire Corlett, is the voice of Sweetie Belle in the show. You say that about them, but isn't Sweetie Belle like all hopped up on Rainbow Dash or something?
No, that's Scootaloo.
Oh, that's Scootaloo. Okay. Because I could have sworn there was a panel in here where I think it was Sweetie Belle that said, "Oh, hey, I want to be like Twilight," and then you got
it's at the very end when they're having the big battle,
Yeah.
And basically to combat darkness, you got to have the light. So they're saying all these positive things and these wonderful things. So it charges, the pony power, to combat the darkness. And so, Scootaloo's the way. I've always wanted to be like Twilight. And Rainbow's like, what? Hey. Yeah, the Queen. I love her. She's such a good villain.
Yeah, she really, really was. I mean, because so the first season of the show, the first villain obviously was Nightmare Moon, and she's a good villain. But starting this off with the Queen was really, really cool. Awesome. Once again, Andy's art, Heather's colors, and just the overall designs of the ponies. Once they get inside the castle, they basically all. Once again, pop culture references. I'm going to turn into Freddie Jones over here. Let's split up, gang, because it's essentially what they do. It's a whole Scooby-Doo thing. And, giant haunted mansion. I mean, how can you not... I can't even imagine who would be which Scooby-Doo character, honestly. I can't even think about that.
But also, when you look into the castle. Almost got a labyrinth feel to it.
Yep.
Just need David Bowie and his special sidekick in his pants.
So each of the whole thing with the castle here is there are a series of doors. One is the right one that will get to Queen Chrysalis. The others are a bunch of scary stuff.
This is what I was talking about. Pop culture references. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. So we got Pinkie on a panel here. Just, Pinkie's the first one we see. La da 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 da. She opens the door. Opens the door and oh boy. All I can think of is she turned into Fifi La Foom from Tiny Toons at this point. Les Clothes. Either that or that was a terrible surprise. Applejack runs into some god awful looking thing.
It's the voodoo priest from the Temple of Doom. Kalima. Okay. And the apple on fire is supposed to be a heart. You know how they rip out the hearts?
Yep.
So, yeah, there you go.
See, I almost wish like Pinkie Pie's surprise wasn't as effective for me. Like I just, because I know from reading her when we did the ponytails and stuff like that and everything else, I almost think the giant clown thing that Fluttershy got should have been. You see, she even says it. Oh, why didn't I get that door?
Oh no! Oh, that still creeps me out. Pennywise still creeps me out in pony form. I tell you.
Yep. And poor Rainbow Dash is just like boring.
The twins.
Yeah. I'll swallow your soul. And Rarity's reaction is like, ew.
Well, I mean, if you know the story of Phantom of the Opera,
well, yeah, obviously. But she even goes on to say, and again, the social commentary between the social commentary and the pop culture references, folks, that's what makes this comic great. Imagine dating a musician that lives in a basement. And of course, Twilight gets the dark room. And they then have to face a riddle. And I love the whole panel here about how they all try, and then Pinkie's like, ooh, I know, let me try, and Twilight just like, no, that's not gonna work. But Pinkie's like, nope, I can't answer it. Pinkie, that's not an answer. Correct.
I love her little tongue.
Her little, oh yeah.
Just doing a raspberry, like,
yeah.
I know.
So they all get in there, and they see that the Cutie Mark Crusaders are in these, like, pea pod type things. Oh, God, 3 peas in a pod. Jesus, I just got that.
Exactly.
Stop copying me. Stop copying me. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. The copy game. You gotta love it. So this basically begins the giant battle between the changelings and the ponies, and eventually Twilight and Chrysalis. And man, is this awesome!
Mm-hmm. I love this battle. It's a really good one. And there's a wonderful, wonderful one-page splash of the two of them, of Twilight and the Queen going at it. Is so gorgeous. The colors, the art. I mean, oh.
Yeah, it's just so, quite literally, it's an art explosion. Because the Queen is essentially trying to basically trick Twilight, corrupt her, get her to come to her side, that kind of thing. And she says the only way that she'll do it is if you let my friends go. And then that's when they all start believing in her, and that's when the big battle starts. And we have this, like you said, the really, really awesome, giant, big old splash page.
It's
just
gorgeous.
2 of them. No, I won't say goodbye. It just looks so cool.
That makes such a cool poster.
Yes, it would. I love the page where Twilight eventually, basically, blows back her hair quite literally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At the end here. Just absolutely love that. And of course, love and friendship and all that stuff. Queen Chrysalis doesn't know anything about that. You can't defeat me, and of course they can win. I can win anything.
Okay, there's like a little G1 reference. I don't know if this was on purpose or if it's just my imagination. So the next page, page 92,
okay.
when Twilight is in her light beacon, they almost did a coloring like her G1 style.
Oh yeah,
they did it on purpose.
the light purple over, yeah.
Yeah, the more of the baby pink with the darker mane. So that's kind of like what she looked like in G1. So.
Very cool. Very cool. We get the battle's over. The queen's defeated, and the princess finally shows up. And Spike with an eye patch. Okay, so I'm gonna say this now. I'll say it in a bit, but I was perfectly fine with how this was explained. I understand why they put in what they put in later, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But I just I believe I didn't have any suspension of disbelief or anything when the queen's or the Princess Celestia said, "Oh, Spike saved the day," and that's pretty much all I needed to really know about it. I don't necessarily think I needed to know how he saved the day.
Well, Spike had to get his story in.
Yeah, that's true. And we kind of close on the poor queen stuck in the basement, guarded by the giant Pinkie costume. Oh, boy. And, the coolest thing, one of the other cool references, Celestia, when she shows up, she said, let's see, where is it? She says, she says, so many villains tend to pop up during events like this. Manhattan had a giant magical marshmallow pony attack the city. A Stay Puft Pony. I hope that's a real thing one of these days, because that's going to be awesome to see.
That would be pretty cool. I would like to see how they do the Stay Puft.
And apparently, Luna, is lost in Manhattan, because the end thing here, it's got Luna right there and with a map of Manhattan.
I love it.
I'm so lost. So we have two little backup stories here. Now, were these in issue 4 or were these a separate thing?
I believe they were in issue 4.
Okay. So we have one where it's Rarity and Pinkie, and she's using Pinkie as a dress mannequin model thing, so she can, so Rarity can do her, do her thing. And the name of the story is How Much Is That Pony in the Window? The art and story is done by Katie Cook. And basically, Rarity tells Pinkie, do not move from this spot. Whatever happens, don't move. And of course, it's Pinkie.
She's asking Pinkie to not move. That's. I'm like, Rarity, you know who Pinkie Pie is, right?
Right? Yeah. Ice cream pony, and she zips off. And 3 fudgy wudgy swirl bars, please. I should have got 4. And she goes to try to fix what she screwed up with the dress, and she figures the drapes will work. Except when she uses the drapes, she doesn't take them off the rod.
She does the Carol Burnett.
Yeah, she pulls a Carol Burnett. Wow, what? See, I knew she wouldn't notice. And then Katie does In the Interim, which is Spike's story of how he saved the day. I like the story. I just, with the way that the end of the actual issue happens, I just don't think this was really needed. Or I wish they would have found a way to work it into the actual issue somehow. Because it just feels like, well, this is a good story. It just feels like a really much of an afterthought.
I love that they bring in a cockatrice, one of those supernatural animals, which I just think is so awesome. And another reason why I love ponies, because I mean, you see the first season they brought in a Hydra, and I'm like, that's really cool. You know, they have so many wonderful different animals, and I love it.
Yep. And then, so that's pretty much it. Spike gets his medal and he wants to enjoy the moment, and that's kind of the end of that. And then we get to the art gallery here. I almost wish that was a big splash page. The 2 pages that make up that panel with all the pony. That's a poster that would be really cool to have.
See, you could get, this was the big, the one with all the main 6.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy the box set that has all 6 covers, and so you could line them up and stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This would be an awesome, for anyone who loves the ponies, this would be an awesome poster. Wonder if Andy sells that anywhere, if he's allowed to. I don't know. The next one, we've got Rarity and Applejack with critters all around them,
Spiders.
Which is done by Katie. Yep, spiders. It's another double panel. Because they're both done by Katie, but it's yeah. Is it 3 panels?
Yeah, there were 3 issues.
Okay,
3 different retail incentives. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 2. Wow, that's 2 really separate, awesome pony posters. The one with Andy, and then the one with Katie. That's really cool because they look like photographs. The way this is done, people, is there's a pink border around all 3 of these issues where you got, like I said, Rarity and Applejack in one, Fluttershy and Twilight in the second one, so that's the middle, and then Pinkie and Rainbow at the end. That's really awesome. And then, of course, lovely Amy Memerson with her dark covers of Queen Chrysalis and the Changelings. Wow.
That's one of my favorite covers that I got. I had to get that cover when I got that.
That cover is awesome. Because it's all our ponies, but they're as changelings, right? Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
That's really cool. Let's see here. Yeah, most of these must have been posters. I think the coolest one that isn't by the normal artists that we have is the final one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to break your brain, but J. Scott Campbell did a pony cover. That is awesome.
And he did it in G1 style. G1 style pony.
Yep. Very, very cool. Overall, the first 4 issues, the first, I'm loving it. I thought it was great.
Told you so.
Jeez, here we go. You're going to be saying that for the rest of my life at this point, aren't you?
Because anyone that this is what happens to everyone. It's like, it's a pony comic. It's a pony comic. And I'm like, just give it a shot. Jeez, And then everyone's like, oh, that was actually pretty good. And I'm like, duh. I know it's because I've been a pony fan for so long. Yeah. And when the cartoon came out, I was there day one watching it. And the comic came out, I was there day one reading it, And so, yeah, I'm a fangirl. But when I tell people, I'm like, you will honestly enjoy this. They don't take my opinion because they're just, oh, you just like it because it's your thing. And I'm like, no, it's a really good story.
It is a very good story.
I like storytelling.
I didn't even have when we did the last episode, the Fiendship episode. I pulled out the traditional nitpick of the plot stuff, the reused general, the father-son thing, the best friends turn enemy thing. In this, it's all fluid. It's one story. You have, the heroes versus the villains, and you basically have Chrysalis going after Twilight. And I mean, we didn't even really mention the whole comet thing, but like Nicole said, people, you got to read this. You just really, really have to read it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about several different points and stuff, but again, like I said at the beginning, there's so much going on, and it's not like it's going to bombard you. It's not crazy busy, but there's so much goodness on each page. The pop culture references, the little jokes here and there, the art alone. I mean, the way that they set up the panels sometime, where like when the queen is when they do this when she's encircled.
Yeah,
I think that's so gorgeous. I'm just like, oh wow.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with Volume 2 after this.
Well, howdy do, Miss Twilight. A pleasure making your acquaintance. I'm Applejack. We here at Sweet Apple Acres sure do like making new friends. Friends? Actually, So, what can I do you for? Oops, I guess I overdid it. How about this? My very own patent chip, Rainbow Dry.
All right, Volume 2 of My Little Pony. I'm surprised they don't title these. Like, it's just My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Volume. Like, there's no overarching story title, which kind of disappoints me, really.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
If you look at the Transformers trades, you got, More Than Meets the Eye, Volume whatever. Like, Volume 5 was Remain in Light, or you got the Turtles trades.
They do that with Turtles too, yeah.
Yeah, the Turtles stuff is, like, change is constant, and
if I remember, I think they do it later on, in later issues. I think they might do it.
Okay. This one is written by Heather Nuffer. I assume I'm saying that name right. The whole series for this one, the art is done by Amy Meverson, so that really made me happy. Colors by Heather Breckel again. Letters by Neil. Edits by Bobby Curnow. The main cover is done by Amy. The collection edits by Justin Eisinger and Alonzo Simon. And the collection design was also done by Neil Yakate. This collects issues.
Let me talk about Neil real quick here. Now, this is one of those things where you really don't think about the lettering in a lot of issues, and it's in itself it is an art form, and in this volume it shows it, and he does a great job with his letters.
Yeah, I mean, he really, really does. You don't really usually when I'm reading a comic or whatever, unless it's something drastic, unless the bubble, like you'll have like a black word bubble with red, like unless it's something not standard white on white background with black text, you'll have something that kind of stands out. But that's sometimes when I have a problem. But for the most part, absolutely love the lettering for this.
Yeah, I remember talking to John Paul Beauvais, and he was saying no one ever thinks of it as something hard until you have to do it yourself. He's one of the artists that's so grateful for his letterists. He's like, absolutely. I never want to do it again.
Get ready for another unforgettable adventure in the land of Equestria. Twilight Sparkle and gang are confronted with a perilous new danger in the form of a long unseen enemy. Dun, dun, dun. This one is very, very... At first, I thought it was going to go cliche. At first, I thought, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I thought they were just going to take Princess Luna and just revert her to Nightmare Moon, and I thought it was going to be the same old thing. They don't do that. They do something that I completely never saw coming, especially with which pony they do it with. I just wish her style would have come out a little bit more out of her personality would not necessarily her fashion personality, which I've already pretty much given it away as to who it is.
Well,
but
basically, you find out in the first comic, everyone's having nightmares. Something's going on, and and they can't figure it out. So Pinkie Pie gets the bright idea. Let's have a slumber party. We'll figure it out there. Woo! I love that. Well, if we can't figure it out by ourselves, we'll have a slumber party. We'll figure it out together. I love it.
Oh. And I love the opening colors. Oh, Heather and these colors is just amazing. You know, you get to chapter 1 here, purple sky, blue clouds, Twilight running from, we don't exactly see what. And, you know, we go to black, and then, you know, we go back to her treehouse there, and Spike is just waking up. Morning, Twilight. How'd you? Don't even ask. She sleeps a lot. Absolutely love it.
We've all had those days.
Yep. And, you know, like you said, they eventually get to Pinkie's. Before that, though, Twilight quite literally runs into a crashing rainbow dash. She wasn't looking where she was going, and they say, I'm a little, you know, Dash is like, I'm a little off course today, too. I haven't been sleeping that great all week I've had. And then we have one of these another giant, beautiful splash pages of two ponies, Nightmares. I just love those. Love those splash pages. I meant to say, with the first trade, I didn't know why, and I guess that's why we needed that end story with Spike. When the first trade, when he finally shows up with Princess Celestia, he's got an eye patch. And I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, with this one, Spike's got sunglasses on. They all go over to Pinkie's. They're going to have a slumber party.
And they do all the things those girls do at slumber parties. Do their hair and their face, and they have a pillow fight.
They have a pillow fight while the stuff's still on their face.
I want to know how hard Pinkie Pie hit Rainbow with that pillow. It looks pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty hard. Yeah, pretty hard. Because it knocked one of the cucumbers off her eye. If you look at it, it knocked
like all of her mask off just about.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In the next panel after the pillow's removed, it basically knocked pretty much all the mask off except like parts on one of her arms there and her face, and she's only got one. So Twilight is trying to find out what's going on with all of them. They eventually all fall asleep. And this is where it gets really cool for me, because we get to see all of them obviously sleeping. We get those panels, and of course Rarity has the eye mask.
Of course. Hey, I have one of those too, but I sleep during the day, so I need it.
Well, there's a difference there. I mean, come on now. They're
not as comfortable as they look.
No. See, that's why and I know we're tangenting here, folks, but I don't care. That's why a number of years ago, my mom and I went, when she was still alive, we went to various stores. I think we went to like a Linens and things and a few other stores. We had found these room darkening curtains. They're essentially black pleather. They're fake leather curtains, but they're basically room darkening. And every apartment I've had so far that I've put those up in my bedroom, ain't no outside light getting in at night during the day or whatever, if I want to end up taking a nap during the day. So the dark dream stuff gets into them. This nightmare juice.
That's a good way to call it. Nightmare juice, yeah. Nightmare fuel.
Yeah. It's either that or it's venom, but Spidey's not in this. So we each see their dreams, and Twilight's is that Princess Celestia dismisses her forever. Applejack's is that there are no apples. Fluttershy's is that the animals all run away from her. Rainbow's is that she can't fly anymore. Pinkie's is that she basically gets tomatoed on stage. And Rarities is that Twilight basically rejects her little gift there for her book thing or whatever that Rarity made for her. And and Rarity, she doesn't wake up, but she pushes off because of the bad dream. She pushes off the eye mask, and she basically talks in her sleep. She didn't even spell your name right. So we have this giant, really cool splash page of all their dreams and just all the bad things that are going on in the nightmares. Absolutely love it. Oh man, this art is great. And then go ahead.
Yeah, and the coloring.
Mm-hmm.
We do got to give credit to the colorist because it's just beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, Heather is doing an amazing job.
Because you feel, I mean, the way that she's done these nighttime colors, she just doesn't do, here's a black background. It's got so many different shades and gradients of this dark blue to a gray, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it really, really is. The grays, the blacks, and the blues all work together, and the Nightmare Juice ends up pony napping Rarity.
Well, it tries to kidnap all of them, and
it gets Rarity,
and Dash is able to save them, except for Rarity.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little late for Rarity.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, Rarity's look when she's getting dragged is just heartbreaking. You're just like, oh, she really is not having a good time.
No, Rarity's not. She's not really having a good time at all in every panel that you see her in here. Because she's in the center, that big splash page. And this is the crux of the story. She wants them to allow her to help them, and she doesn't want them to forget about her. And that's basically where the Nightmare Juice kind of latches on, and they figure, oh, hey, that's going to be the easiest one to drag away. And yeah, you're right, Rainbow doesn't get to her in time, but I think once she said that, the Nightmare Juice was like, hey, yeah, let's grab her. She'll be fine. Mm-hmm. She'll work. And Twilight ends up barking out orders. Go get her, Rainbow Dash. You too, Fluttershy. I love how Rainbow looks so determined to do it, and then Fluttershy is just like, me too.
Well, that's the thing. Rainbow Dash, she, like I said, I love how competitive she is. She's a very strong pony. So when she becomes weak, you understand. You're just like, oh. See, Rainbow Dash reminds me a lot of my sister. I see so much of my sister in her. Because very determined, very outgoing, I'm going to be number one. And then when you see the defeat, you actually feel it like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the worst thing for him because they have to accept defeat, and that's like the worst thing that she has to do. So
once again, as we go along here, and they do get defeated. I do love another splash panel here with Amy and Heather doing the art and colors, where it opens up and you see Rainbow's attempts to go to the moon, and just the constant. She's just zipping around. No fair. Oh man.
She's trying so hard. It just proves that she does have love for Rarity. So
yeah.
And they're so opposite of each other.
Yeah, they are. And so Fluttershy says in the next panel, which way did they go? I was thinking, which way did they go, George? Which way did they go?
Which way did they go?
And there's Did we already pass it?
What?
I'm trying to think. There was a panel. I made a note where Fluttershy has said something. This is before. I think it's before. I think we already passed it, but it's before they get to Princess Celestia and Princess Luna. I made a note where Fluttershy. I think it was back during the slumber party. Maybe I don't know. How can Fluttershy be grouchy?
Oh,
She says she's a little grouchy. How can she be grouchy?
Oh, it's when they're all meeting up and they're talking about their nightmares.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
She's probably grouchy in the way that she thinks she's grouchy. I have friends that are like that. They're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap at you. I'm like, are you serious? That was a snap? Let me show you a snap, okay? You know, cause I could just hear her right now and just like, oh, Fluttershy, you're so cute.
Yeah. What I love again is all of the the pop culture references. At one point in this trade, in these first couple of issues here, Pinkie Pie ends up wearing 80s 3D glasses.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying. That's what I'm saying. I love that, and they don't go to Prince. I screwed up and said that they don't go to Princess Celestia and Luna. They come to them.
Because they know it's coming. This is something that's been in the works for a long time, and the princess is being smart. It's just like, it's happening. We need to go. We need to go to our prize student and see what's going on. So.
Yeah.
And Luna looks absolutely adorable.
Oh, she does. Amy does such a good job on her in every panel, like every expression. Like the one, it isn't that simple. You don't know what they're planning, and she has the surprised look on her face, and then we go to, the fact that she's worried about something where she says it's troubling, or, because Fluttershy then says to her, Princess Luna, there's nothing to be scared of when you're surrounded by friends. Something is happening. Something is happening on the moon. And we get basically some backstory here for anybody that hasn't read the Princess Luna one-shot character. Or
haven't watched the comic or watched the cartoon.
Or watch the cartoon. She says, stuff about the nightmares, and, legend says if the nightmare forces can harness enough strength through the cycle of the new moon, they're granted one more chance. One more chance to what? And this is another really, it is a bigger splash page, but the close-up on, you got two panels here where Twilight says, one more chance to what? And once you reveal the full splash page, it is really cool.
Oh, you're on the guided view, huh?
Yep. I'm always on the guided view. It's just so cool. Let's see here. So, I love... when we get up to the moon finally, and we'll talk about how they get to the moon, or quite literally bring the moon to them, which shouldn't have worked. Yeah.
How?
Pow, zoom to the moon, Alice. Yeah. One of these days, Alice. One of these days. It's all I can think of is the rest of them. Anytime Pinkie's around. One of these days, Pinkie. One of these days. My only gripe about the nightmare stuff at first, until it was actually revealed that they were other creatures, I was like, please don't let them be gremlins again. Please don't let them be gremlins again. Please don't let... I was like, I've already seen it. I don't need to see it again.
You need to have more confidence in these writers, because they don't...
No, it's not that I don't have confidence in the writers. It's convention. It's your standard thing of, oh my god.
There's so many wonderful characters in ponies. I don't know. Have you met up with the Timberwolves yet?
No, I don't. In the show, you mean?
Yeah.
Or... No,
okay.
I don't think so.
That's one of the most beautiful pieces of artwork, are the Timberwolves. They're basically wood. Timber, wolves, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And they have had him in the comics as well. And these are just another bit of a different creature. Like you said, we saw the chupacabra in the last issue. We saw the cockatrice. This is just another wonderful character that they've brought in, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. So we get to chapter 1. The first issue ends on Rarity being captured, and she's basically making fun of the nightmare juice, and that's just what I'm going to call it the rest of the show, because it's just funny. At least it's funny to me. Probably not to everyone else, but so you get Rarity, and she's basically laughing at them. I've had bad hair days more intimidating than this.
Mm-hmm. And then they bring in their A game, like, okay.
Yeah, that's a step
it's on.
up. So wishy things, yeah. So they have to come up with a plan to save Rarity, and Applejack has Wonder Woman's lasso. Because that's what they turned it into, pretty much.
Well, it's Applejack's lasso, and Celestia turns it into it.
Well, yeah. And this is where the Pinkie Pie with the 3D glasses.
I love it. Oh, Pinkie Pie does so many just little improv things here. Did we already miss the cheerleader? Oh yeah, a couple pages back when she's the cheerleader and she has the Rydell High from Grease outfit.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's just so hilarious. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Pinkie is not necessarily comic relief, but she's the comedy once things go south. So they have this plan to walk up this rope and pull the moon closer to the Earth. Now, again, I know I shouldn't be bringing logic into the comics, but there needs to be some. Wouldn't that change the tides? Because the moon controls the tides, and wouldn't the Earth be flooded if they brought it closer?
Yeah, did we learn anything from Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
No.
Or
it's well, I just thought about this too. It's like, I don't know about this, but again, it's Celestia and Luna. They have some other powers that might be able to control something else. So
that's true.
It's a magical world.
Yep. So they're all concentrating. They're all doing this this tug of war with the moon. And then they start walking up the thing vertically. Again. Nope.
What?
Just nope. This can't work.
It's a magical land. It's going to work.
I know it's a magical land, but I love Applejack. Just keep your eyes forward, Applejack. Do not think about that gosh darn deep darkness down below. And Pinkie's loving it. Pinkie's like, oh yeah, I'm an 80s cop right now. Because she's got the 80s sunglasses on.
Because she's dancing, she kind of got the risky business kind of look going to her.
Oh, God, yeah, that's true. In space, no one can hear you squee.
Oh my gosh, another great reference. I mean, Pinkie Pie is just full of references. I love it.
Yep. And Fluttershy, you're not helping. And then Spike comes along with all his armor and everything else, and he basically breaks the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you think they would fall back to the Earth because they don't look like they're... Well, you see the panel when he first steps on, but the weight, aren't you afraid it might be too much, a touch too heavy, is what Applejack says. So you kind of see the Earth behind her and Spike, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like they were walking that far between the panels here. So the rope breaks, and then they all fall on the moon. Somehow. Oh, no, they don't. Luna's magic guides them down. And Spike nearly falls. He, loses his magic heart gem for Rarity, and of course Twilight saves it for him. So we got Luna and the ponies all there. When the nightmare energy came back to life, it needed a form to take. So dark. Take off the sunglasses, Pinkie.
Oh.
So, we get to the nightmare stuff, back to that and Rarity, and basically in this chapter here, in this issue, they basically take advantage of Rarity's always wanting to help her friends no matter what. And this turns her into a nightmare.
This is gorgeous. Okay, this is very sinister too. Again, when people think of ponies, they're like, "Oh, it's such a girly thing. It's so it's so simple." And I'm like when people hear of guys watching My Little Pony or reading My Little Pony, I'm like, you got to get whatever you think of out of your mind, because there's a lot more to it. This is something very dark. This is kind of like the very first episode in G1. You're taking someone and you're like changing every aspect of them, their mind, their body. I mean, it's kind of creepy if you think about it. It's overtaking her, and this is just a beautiful page. The swirls and
swirls.
Oh my gosh! You could. She's got like this single tear coming out of her. You're just like, she's in pain. She's hurting. You're just like, how can you think this is such a simple story? You can feel everything she's going through just in this one page.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's got the single tear. She's got this thing is enveloping her, and that's a beautiful panel.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Right there. We then go back to the others, and we get to a point where the Nightmare Mist basically is about to overtake them, and I love Applejack. Well, howdy there, little critters with your sparkly eyes. What do you call that, Fluttershy? Possible inherent evil?
I love that panel.
Yeah.
I love her look. Is just so.
I love Fluttershy. Luna's like, something is coming. Run! I have no power over this nightmare mist. You heard her. Move them moves. And it basically envelopes them all back into their nightmares.
What the hey?
Yeah, what the hey?
One of my favorites.
And this is where they all kind of, Luna breaks into Twilight's dream here, or nightmare.
This is what I think that I do love about Luna. She comes in, she rescues them, but she teaches them also how to face their fear.
Right.
And I think that's a really good lesson for anyone, no matter what you face.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I love how she comes in and interacts with each one of them.
Well, what happens is she doesn't just come in and interact with each one of them. She comes and saves Twilight, and then as she goes along and saves the rest of them, they all have to come back to save, like, whether it's Rainbow or whether it's Applejack or whatever. So it ends up being all of them saving, and that's the whole point of the whole series and the whole comic. And friendship is magic, and love and everything else. And I think the best one out of this, and as much as I've said throughout this entire, spotlight we've been doing here in February, as much as Pinkie and Fluttershy are my two favorites. I think at one point you said, well, wait, didn't you say Fluttershy was your number one? They're kind of tied for number one because it depends on the situation. No, because it depends on the situation. Like, the best nightmare here is poor Pinkie.
Oh.
So you can't partay. And the only one that is not booing is Twilight with the sign, "Yay, Pinkie Pie, please wake up now."
See, out of all these scenarios, I gotta agree. Being humiliated on stage while you're sitting up there by yourself is probably the worst one. To tell you the truth. I mean, killer animals, you could take care of that.
Yeah. And once again, you see, so you got that nice, cool panel there with Twilight with the sign, And then somebody tomatoes Pinkie. Are you not amused? And then there's the close-up. All I can think of, guess what, Nightmare Schmightmare? All I can think of is that original. I don't know if it was. I think it was from the show or wherever. Your Hulk Pinkie. You had an image on your Twitter a long time ago.
Oh, Pinkie.
It was the. You said something that was supposed to be Pinkie Hulk or something. She was really mad. She's like gritting her teeth and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was a while ago. I am the most laughter-giving, fun-having, friend-making pony ever. You have no power over me. Clap, clap, clap. And poor Fluttershy. I'm sorry, I must have snuggled you all too hard.
All the furry creatures.
Paws up, bunnies. Sheriff Pinkie.
These guys are fakers. Okay. Do you watch Family Guy at all?
Yeah,
You're a phony. You're a big fat phony. That's just what I thought.
Mm-hmm. How could they? I'm so mad I can almost yell. Almost. Sing it, sister. Well, why not? Faker.
About as loud as Fluttershy can get.
Then they have to get to Applejack, and this is cool. This is really cool because you got the Apple family here. I'm so hungry, Applejack. Why couldn't you grow the apples right? Without our apples, all of your friends and family and Ponyville will starve. Yup. You gotta love Big Mac. So they eventually end up breaking out of all the dreams, the nightmares. And we get to a point in the story where the nightmare clouds are like, talking to Luna and basically saying, oh, come be Nightmare Moon again, and
And this is where I was talking about the lettering.
Mm-hmm.
The lettering for the clouds is amazing.
Yeah.
It's really kind of creepy, and I love it.
It's supposed to be creepy.
Yeah, and I love it. I mean, it's just I don't know. There's a little bit of something that I know I couldn't do, but it looks so good.
Absolutely. And she basically is going to give, she's going to give in to the whole them wanting her to become Nightmare Moon again because they basically threaten her with the other alternative.
Uh-huh.
And she knows what the other alternative is, but she won't tell the ponies. And they, Rainbow Dash basically just says, let some goth-loving bunny take another one of our, like we're gonna let some goth-loving bunny take another one of our friends. Darn tootin', I'm your friend? ? Pinkie's like, well, duh.
Now, Luna's always had this like self-esteem issue since she's become Luna and not Nightmare Moon. She's always had this. I think because she still lives in the guilt of what she did when she was Nightmare Moon, so she always has that feeling like no one can forgive me for what I did. No one loves me. So I like how they bring that in. Like, oh, she's like I have friends besides my sister. So I really like that.
Oh, absolutely, I do too. And the thing with this is, you got these nightmare clouds. Larry, look at this little dragon. I mean, Shadow Fright. And that's okay. So that's where I started questioning. I'm like, oh god, no gremlins, no gremlins, no gremlins. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the gremlin characters, but I wanted it to be something else. I wanted it to be something different and new, and thankfully it was. So. So we have the as the kind of end of chapter 2 here, we have the reveal of something completely evil. Not truly completely, but we have a giant explosion whoosh. We have these eyes that are looking at us.
Like I Dream of Jeannie. That's what it reminded. Remember the opening credits to I Dream of Jeannie?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Like these gorgeous eyes just in the mist and.
Yep. And then now the elements of harmony will be destroyed forever, and Ponyville will be defenseless. Meet our new queen, Nightmare Rarity. She looks great.
Oh my gosh.
She
and
looks
she looks
awesome.
more gorgeous. I mean, that is one pretty pony. I'll say that. I mean, she looks just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love like the little life signs in her eyes are also diamonds.
Yeah, they're very, very cool. So Nightmare Rarity, I do love the good guys turn bad guys stories because it gives the characters development. It gives the character development of each of the characters. It's more intensity to the character when you know once they've gone through something like this. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Chapter 3, issue 7.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Opens up back in on Earth on Equestria with Princess. I almost said Princess Luna for some odd reason. Princess Celestia is gathering everybody up. And she's, we get the Cutie Mark Crusaders reporting for duty, and they want to save their sisters, and, Celestia says even the smallest ponies can make the biggest difference. We must hurry before...
Okay, that panel right there. I love how literally she takes them under her wings.
Yep.
I love it. It's such a literal thing,
cool.
but it's so well done. I love it.
This is very, very cool. And she assumes, because you get this giant, explosion thing. My poor sister, forced to be Nightmare Moon once again. But that doesn't look like Luna. I want a close-up of that.
Of her moon, of Rarity in the Moon?
Yeah, take away all the ponies, take away the houses... Focus in on the moon with the clouds in the sky. That's what I want. I want a super splash of that.
Oh, that is really cool.
That is very cool.
See, when we get to the next, because I like you said, when I read the comics, I read them like in the voice of the cartoon.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I'm wondering because Nightmare Moon had a different voice than Luna, so I'm wondering what Rarity's voice would sound like right now.
That's one of the reasons why I was asking earlier about Tabitha St. Germain. I'm wondering what she would do for an evil Rarity. So this story here, so we get basically the ponies trying to free their friend from the darkness. And, everybody's basically saying they don't believe her. Applejack says, I don't believe you. Rarity is still in there. I'm sure of it. And Pinkie's like, yeah, she just needs a little jog into her noggin, like something only she would remember. Like, Rarity, remember that time when we were at the spa and the hot tubs bubbles stopped working, and I told you that joke about the aardvark marrying a pipe cleaner, and then poof, suddenly there were bubbles. You were so embarrassed you made me poofy swear to never, ever, ever tell. Gasp. I'm sorry, I totally just told.
I love it. It's so fun.
The only thing I kind of question, not story-wise, but art-wise here, is Spike. We've seen Spike in Amy Emerson's style already so far in this, but when we get to after Pinkie says, oh, I just told, Spike looks smaller than...
Well, I think it's because they're trying to show you that he probably does look smaller because Rarity's so much larger,
Rarity, okay.
And of course, he's trying to be very humble right now. He's trying... You gotta understand, you gotta remember, he's madly in love with Rarity. So this is breaking his heart. So he's kind of got like that, this is my last chance. And he's probably is scared because she's not her, So yeah, I can see why. I think it's a good.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I'm just saying that. I'm just commenting on the fact that he looks. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that he looks smaller. It just he looks a lot younger than what he normal than what I'm used to seeing him look like here.
See, I'm
Uh,
picturing this is what Rarity is looking at.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So he almost breaks her. He almost breaks her. He almost gets to her, and then the darkness engulfs her even more. And they start talking about Luna and how she had it so good, and you know, if you had taken my offer and became Nightmare Moon once again, your precious ponies would be spared. You've done this to them, Luna, and they will never forgive you. Speak for yourself. Yeah, leave her alone, Missy.
I love how the art comes out. Again, we're talking about art all the time, but
yeah,
it's beautiful. The way that Rarity's mane is, you can just feel it's just shimmering like no other.
well, yeah, it's the way it always shimmers, but it's because of the different color and the way of the different stuff. Like her mane itself is the same kind of purple, but it's a little bit. It's because she's a white pony in general. Her mane and her tail are like a darker purple. This is more of a I don't even want to know what that was. This is more of a it's not a violet. It's more of a it's a little bit brighter than her normal dark color because she now is a black pony. So they have to counterbalance the colors. So they put a little bit more lightness to the purple.
I love it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is just so well done. So we get the nightmares chasing all of them. Even Spike tries to save her from the nightmares, and you took one of my friends. I'm not letting you take any more. And they basically just send Spike over to Timbuktu, pretty much.
Poor Spike.
Poor Spike. That dragon can never get a break. Oh, the only thing that Amy and Heather missed with this, and I don't think it would have worked, but it would have been hilarious, a Pokemon reference. Poor Spike is blasting off again. And obviously, because Spike... I know you told me he's not her pet, but I still kind of think he's Twilight's pet sometimes.
He's her assistant.
Yeah, he's her assistant. So
and friend.
Yeah, she's fed up, so she does her little magic thing, and they basically capture all the ponies, and Luna is the only one left free, and Twilight just tells her, go back to Ponyville and help them. You have to go. You have no choice. You have to. So she goes back to Ponyville, and we have Nightmare Rarity taking them to the dungeon. They're boring me. So Pinkie comes up with the wiggle dance to escape the cloud gremlins. It's just so Pinkie. They still end up getting captured, though, sadly.
Pinkie kind of enjoys like getting captured in a way. I'm like, Stockholm syndrome, maybe she's enjoying this way too much.
Yeah. Rainbow's not enjoying it at all. Rainbow's really just ready to just blast out of there. And then Fluttershy finds this red-looking dust bunny.
Oh yeah, it's so adorable.
Evil little thing. Hello, you cutie. Because Fluttershy doesn't care. She loves every animal equally. And she calls it Miss Buffy. Vampire bunny. Oh.
Well, because she already has Angel.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
And they already have Spike. Oh.
Damn it.
What else are you going to call it?
Cordelia.
Oh god.
so we got Buffy, Angel, and Spike. Great. Buffy the Vampire Bunny.
I love it.
It's hilarious. Are we sure Fluttershy didn't get hit on the head?
Fluttershy is special. I love her.
Yeah, Fluttershy is awesome. And they're all worried about Spike. And we go to Spike and we see that...
Man, he's had a rough day.
yeah, the whole coughing thing. At first, I thought like a bunch of notes were going to come out from Princess Celestia, like because that's all I've ever when I've seen him cough. That's all that ever happens is the return messages or a message to Twilight.
I figured it was like when this was like been drowning and you have to cough something up. That's first. It's fire.
Yeah,
water.
That's pretty much what this is. But normally, in a normal circumstance, whenever I've seen him do anything with his dragon fire, it's to send the messages or to receive them because he essentially coughs them up, which has got to be painful. Oh. So he's like a bajillion miles away from everybody, and he's about to become the hero, and he starts, singing in his own little tune.
When I read this, I was thinking of Jockster the Mighty from Xena.
Oh God, so hilarious.
Of course, Spike is bombarded with little creatures.
But they help him. They're not out there to hurt him though, so that's good. They're little epic quest, save this damsel in distress. Oh my God, he's turning into Wheelie. Oh God. Once again, beautiful shot of Nightmare Rarity. Is it just me, or is her mane really out of control?
I mean, because both the princesses, they had the really flowy manes,
Yeah.
And of course, it's Rarity. Her hair is extra big anyway, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. So we come to find out that Spike goes and sneaks in. He tries to find the dungeon. The right dungeon. Now, something we didn't talk about earlier was that during the fight with the Nightmare guys, Rainbow Dash actually bumps into one. And something happens there that actually is going to come back here, which one of the Nightmare guys is like, "Oh, the key, where's the key? I don't know where the key is." Well, turns out Rainbow's got it the whole time.
Not Rainbow.
Yeah, it was Rainbow. Was it Pinkie?
Yeah.
I thought it was Rainbow.
Pinkie has it.
Okay. Well, I thought it was Rainbow because she's flying at the things.
You'll see.
Yeah. So Spike gets conjured up by the Nightmare juice here. And basically he goes into this throne room and he's going to be king and he's going to be with Queen Rarity and he finally gets the quote-unquote acceptance that he's always wanted from her. And then she's like, will you just forget the past? And he's like, wait, what? Huh? You're not Rarity.
I love it.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Rarity, what do you think of my necklace? It's cute. Cute. Just cute. It doesn't look familiar. Not my color, really. That's the first time I've ever hated you saying the word cute, Rarity. The look on his face.
I know.
Oh my
You're
God.
not my Rarity.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. The two panels there, the really sad look on his face, and then the angry Spike. And obviously he breaks the the nightmare sequence here. And we have the end of chapter 3 here is where Rarity's like, oh, poor Spike, can't get the word out. Don't worry, it's too late for Rarity anyway, let alone your friends. And of course, Spike's like, he's never going to give up, and the nightmare is just beginning.
She looks absolutely gorgeous there.
She looks absolutely evil there.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like we've been saying the whole episode, with this trade specifically, Amy and Heather just combined on the art. Amy's drawing and line work and design of all the ponies and Heather's colors. Oh, it's just so good. So we start the final chapter here with Luna coming back down to Earth, and they're getting ready to basically fight the nightmares if they can. And Rainbow Dash starts calling the nightmare guys Dingus.
I love it. Dingus.
Dingus, dingus, dingus. Enough of the dingus. Dinguses, dingusi, whatever it is in the plural. Dinkai.
Dinkai.
That's Pinkie right there. Now what are we going to do, huh? Apparently overreact in a completely unhelpful way like you always do. I know they're all friends, but it's always so interesting to me to see when they have a team up with whatever team that they want. It's always so interesting to me, like Rainbow Dash and Applejack. It's just the personality differences are just so awesome.
I love when they team up those two because they're both so competitive. So.
Yeah. What? That's insane, Applejack. Completely insane. You're the one who's all howdy partner about everything. What does that even mean? And
Part Twilight.
Dinky Pinky Doo. Stop being... it's okay, Miss Buffy. They don't actually mean it. We're all best friends.
Aw, Fluttershy.
So, Twilight starts glowing again. And then they all start glowing. Because they all start thinking of, the friendship and the love and all that stuff. And we then get back to the nightmare stuff with Spike. And they the nightmare guys basically shatter his heart necklace there. And that just shatters him.
Poor guy.
Like I said, Spike can never get a break.
No. He's always friend zoned.
Yeah. And that design on him and the page where the nightmares are like, the silent treatment are clever, but your silence won't save Rarity once your love is gone. He looks like the three-eyed fish from The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, he does.
So he picks up his gem shards and puts them in a bag and gets out of the little nightmare thing there. And he sees the light and heads towards it. Head towards the light, Spike. Mm-hmm. He slinks under the guard that's at the door there.
He's small enough. He could do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It shows him slinking under the guard. Because the guard's just a giant cloud at this point. And of course, Twilight, Spike, you're okay. You're one tough, tiny little dude. And Rainbow's like, you came without a key? Well, I got kind of busy. Rainbow's so defeated. And Applejack's like, maybe we can just kick him down. Nope.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. No sweat. My Pegasisters and Dragon Boys. And yeah, you're right. It is Pinkie that has the key.
She swallowed it in.
That's sweet and all, but dancing ain't gonna set us free. Oh, ye of little faith. Plink. And it's the key. That's another one. When you do the guided view, that's another panel I should screen cap for you for your Twitter page or something. The wink with the eye and the.
Oh yeah.
It's just hilarious. Absolutely love it. So they all get out. They all get free. And Basically, because the one they left guarding them is the one that that the other clouds are always mean to. So they basically make friends with this thing, Larry, and they basically save him. Pretty much, they cure him of his nightmare stuff, and we go back to Earth, and once again on Ponyville, the colors, the background, it's so good.
I love how they showed like the moon being enveloped in this curve. Yeah.
Yep. So they're all going to focus and lead the ponies, and they're going to fight the nightmares. They're going to fight Nightmare Rarity.
And I mean, every little background pony, every little pony that you've known from the cartoon is in these next 2 pages. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the panel here. I call this move the kamikaze karate clop of elderly respect. Granny Smith. Oh, Granny Smith. By the mane of Miyagi. Oh my God. I said something more than just 2 words.
That's how incredible this event is.
I will get you. It's just so hilarious.
I love
it. And we got one of the Nightmare guys coming after Angel. Little do the Nightmare people know. Oh, poor little bunny. Ha. Angel looks at him, he just laughs.
Angel's sinister, man.
Yeah. Angel's just awesome. So they all come in to fight. And, I mean, all of these panels in this issue are just so amazing. They just really are. At this point, by the time I started reading this second trade for the recording, by the time I got to chapter 4, I was just reading it. I was just reading it and enjoying it. I have one note for chapter 4. One note. But an epic conclusion, and nice seeing that the Cloudy were actually different creatures. This goes back to my no gremlins thing. So it was nice to act, but that's my one note, because then the next note is like, so 2 pony volumes, and we'll talk about that later. But yeah, once again, some awesome battles here, and some really, you got Luna coming down. Basically saying that my bitterness and anger are transforming into Nightmare Moon before I fear it may happen again. It is my burden. And Celestia's like, it isn't your burden to bear alone, believe me. Like that happened. You're one of us now. One of you, one of us, one of us. Well, sure, you're as much part of Ponyville as Mr. and Mrs. Cake or Joe or Twist. Sorry. Wait, who says hiya? Who the hell is that?
What page are you on?
Where she's
got a little head.
Where Apple Bloom is talking to Luna, or Luna is on the ground. It's when Luna comes back down. It's a few panels after that.
Okay. Hey, Luna, no. Okay.
Right after where Princess Celestia says it isn't your burden to bear alone, believe me.
Oh, okay. Wait. I don't know what page you're on. Okay, I think it went too far ahead.
I think you did too. All right, so we get to let's see. We get to Luna saying, together we will defeat the Nightmare Energy and we'll never hurt any pony ever again. And they're all ready to fight. And Spike ends up coming out of the cloud. Spike ends up coming out of the cloud, but it's the cloud that they've befriended. That's what it is. Because the Nightmares are like, Nightmare Rarity's like, no matter what's his face or him, or should we be shaking in our boots? Actually, you probably should. Take it away, Jerome. Larry, my name is Jerome, and that's not all. And we bring down the ponies. Silly, scary lady, friendship is stronger than fear will ever be. Oh boy. Let's see. So we get a giant dragon as well.
Well, I don't know if he's really a dragon. He looks more like a bird type.
Okay.
To me, at least.
And they're basically going to say, we're going to, Applejack's, you get to a point where Twilight's like, there's just one more tiny problem to deal with. We're going to ask nicely once. Give her back. No. Blammo! And all the ponies zap Nightmare Rarity into being regular Rarity again. Like, oh, you didn't forget about me. You saved me. And of course we didn't forget about you, Rarity.
Don't you forget about me.
Can you just imagine if they adapted Breakfast Club into ponies?
Well, let's see. You could. There were 6 Breakfast Clubbers, right?
Yeah, there's Claire, there's Andrew, there's Bender, there's Brian, and there's what's her name? Allie. There's 5.
Oh, I thought there's 5.
So they start, coming to Rarity's aid to get her to, be undone. You're the awesomest. We love you. And
yeah, see, this is where I was telling you about.
About what?
Scootaloo.
Oh yeah. This is coming up at the end here, yeah. And we get to Spike, and I assume this is his thought of her. Like, she's not, because she isn't awake yet. She isn't, so, you mean everything to me. Please come home.
Aww.
Hey.
That's so cute. I mean, look at him. He loves her so much.
Yep. It's a Romeo and Juliet kind of love. Quite literally. And yeah, so we get to the end of it, and yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. I'm wondering at this point, and I don't know when we're going to get back to more pony coverage at some point, but I don't know exactly when. I have no plans of getting the 3rd volume right away, but now so in this volume we have the whole Nightmare thing, and we've got Nightmare Rarity, Nightmare Moon, and Luna, and all that. And I just love how they pretty much are able to, without it feeling like it's cliched, wrap everything up in a nice little bow and have a happy ending for everybody.
I love it.
Yep.
Another well-written story, beautifully arted and colored and arted. Is that a word?
I don't know. You just made it up.
Yeah, it's very well done.
Yep. And we have the art gallery here, and we have this. The first one is done by Stephanie Buscema. It's a wanted, but it's a missing poster. Rarity's missing. I love that. That's hilarious. We have the day and night cover done by Andy Price, which is Luna and Celestia.
I love that one.
Yep. We have the one done by Amy Meverson, which is the ponies up in space.
Yep, on their cord.
Yeah, on the rope, on the Wonder Woman lasso. We've got one, again, done by Stephanie, which is Rarity on the moon. We got one by Tony Flex, which is all of them on Earth. And another one by Amy Meverson with all of them on the moon. And then we've got Nightmare Rarity by Stephanie. I think the prison one is my favorite, though.
Oh, I know. That's so cool.
That was so cool.
Fluttershy looks like she's at home.
Well, it's because she got the little evil bunny in there. I mean, and of course, Rainbow Dash is just like, let us out, let us out. No.
Pinkie Pie looks like she's gonna cut someone. She's making a shake, I think.
Shawshank Pinkie, oh Lord. Oh, that would be hilarious. Now that I've read all these pony comics, I can't stop thinking of them in certain, like, holy crap, can you imagine them doing a Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, I can.
Overall, Friendship is Magic Volumes 1 and 2, I really dug them. I thought they were great stories.
Do I need to say it? Do I need to say it?
Yeah. No, don't even.
I told you so.
I think it's more so that I wasn't receptive to. It wasn't that I wasn't receptive to the content of the franchise. It's more so the fandom that turns me off to the certain franchises.
I'm sorry. I love something.
Not you specifically. It's the other side of the fandom, the crazy, the weird.
You're gonna find that in any fandom, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, that is very true.
I've seen that in Transformers. I've seen that in Doctor Who, the Whovians.
Let's not even go there.
I have seen it in Downton Abbey fandoms. Okay.
Thank God that series is done.
No, it's not done yet. It's got a couple episodes.
Yes, it is. They're having the series finale eventually.
I know, but I haven't seen it. They got 2 more episodes, so shh.
Oh, I don't watch it. I'm just saying, thank God it's over.
No, again, it's one of those things. You need to watch it.
No, that's one thing I draw the line at. It's one of the one things.
You said that about ponies. I've been. It was about a year ago. You're like, I will never do that.
There is no way in hell anybody can get me to watch Downton Abbey. There's just no way. I am so not Happy Hogan from Iron Man 3. Any other final thoughts you want to bring up?
No, really, people. I mean, if you're listening to this, you're probably a pony fan already. But I mean, I wish other people, if you are not a pony fan, if you haven't watched the cartoon or read any of the comics, really do give it a shot. There's more to it than what you think it is. I mean, the details that they've put into these comics, the story, the workmanship completely is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was saying a second ago that I don't know when we're going to get back to this. I don't know when I'm going to get around to reading volumes 3 and 4 and other of the trades, but I'm still wondering at this point. You know, like I said earlier, we had Queen Chrysalis in the first trade with the whole, take over Twilight's magic and eventually take over Equestria and all that. We have the Nightmare stuff here. I'm wondering what's going to happen next.
Ooh, I know.
Well, I know you know, duh. But I'm just saying, as a new reader to the series, I'm still wondering, like, I wonder where they're going to go next. What are they going to do now? Are they, that kind of thing. So, coming up next week, we're going to take a look at the other series' first 2 trades, My Little Pony Friends Forever. Now, is there a difference between the two series?
Well, the Friends Forever, it's kind of like they pair up to the ponies and they go on their own little venture. So
so it's like a buddy cop thing.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. It's pretty cute. I really like it.
Is it going to be as good as this is?
Yeah, it's a good little adventure. Of course it's good. You think I'm going to say is...
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say.
No, you'll like it. You'll like it.
Cool. Where can the people find you online?
Okay, just Google Beatlesdiva. That's Beatles like the band, not the bug, and that's me.
You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at The Pullbag on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Pullbag. You can also check out GeekCast Radio on Twitter. I am at TFG1 Mike. Coming up next week is the final Fiendship is Friendship February episode. It's episode 133, when we review the first two trades of My Little Pony Friends Forever.
Woohoo!
Make your greatest escape to comics, and we will catch you next time.
Aloha.
No. Oh, goodness, no.
How are my spines? Are they straight?
Good afternoon. Just a moment, please. I'm in the zone, as 'twere. Oh, yes. Sparkle always does the trick, does it not? Why, Rarity, you are a talent. Now, how can I help you? Oh, my stars, darling! Whatever happened to your coiffure? Oh, you mean my mane? Well, it's a long story. I'm just here to check on the decorations, and then I'll be out of your hair. Out of my hair? What about your hair? Wait, where are we going? Help! A baby dragon! Oh, I've never seen a baby dragon before. He's so cute.
Well.
Oh my, he talks. I didn't know dragons could talk. That's just so incredibly wonderful. I just don't even know what to say. Well, in that case, we'd better be going. Oh, wait. What's his name?
I'm Spike.
Hi, Spike. I'm Fluttershy. Wow, a talking dragon. And what do dragons talk about?
Well, what do you want to know?
Absolutely everything. Surprise! Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I threw this party just for you. Were you surprised? Were you? Very surprised. Libraries are supposed to be quiet. Well, that's silly. What kind of welcome party would this be if it were quiet? I mean, duh. Boring. You see, I saw you when you first got here, remember? You were all hello, and I was all, remember? You see, I never saw you before, and if I never saw you before, that meant you're new. Because I know every pony, and I mean every pony in Ponyville. And if you're new, it meant you hadn't met anyone yet. And if you haven't met anyone yet, you must not have any friends. And if you don't have any friends, then you must be lonely. And that made me so sad, and I had an idea. And that's why I went, I should do a great, big, ginormous, super-duper spectacular welcome party and invite everyone in Ponyville. See? And now you have lots and lots of friends. Are you all right, Sugar Q?
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pullbag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching GeekCast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCast Radio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.